once at the heart of global change, as a home of the Industrial Revolution. The West Midlands, now at the heart of the country and a core political battleground. Signs of wealth in Birmingham, signs of economic challenges in Wolverhampton. And back in the UK's second city, springtime. Less clement climes at Birmingham City Council, which is effectively bankrupt. All the fault of its Labour administration, say the Tories. All the fault of Tory cuts, says Labour. A divisive backdrop to a mayoral election that will tell us about the national mood. There are 6 candidates. Andy Street for the Conservatives is running a highly personal campaign in green as he aims for a 3rd consecutive term. He is facing a strong challenge from Labour's Richard Parker, who's running a more traditional party campaign. These two will be looking closely at the challengers. For Andy Street, it's the Reform UK candidate, Elaine Ruth Williams. For Richard Parker, it's Sunny Verk for the Lib Dems, Siobhan Bridget Harper-Noons for the Greens, and the independent candidate, Ahmed Yaqub.
I think this is going to be such a fascinating last few days as we build up to the polling day. Andy Street should, by rights, lose this by a mile. He represents the Conservative Party that's tanking everywhere at the moment. But he's very cleverly playing his Brand Andy trick. What this essentially means is he's got no government ministers anywhere near Birmingham or the West Midlands. This is all about Andy Street. Now, the chances are that he could come up on the rails and take this against the odds. The Labour Party, though, are throwing everything at it. So in contrast to Street, we've had every shadow cabinet minister that can possibly make it to Birmingham and to the West Midlands here. This is a Labour campaign. This is not a one-man campaign. So it's really fascinating to see if the one-man campaign can beat the National Party.
Mixed views in the centre of Birmingham.
I might vote for him.
You would? And is that an Andy Street vote or a Conservative vote?
It's definitely not a Conservative vote. I've never voted Conservative ever. But he's an independent person as far as I can understand.
I'll probably vote Labour, to be honest.
Would you always vote Labour?
Not always. Probably always so.
Well, why do you think you'll vote this time?
I don't like the direction of the Conservatives the last 8 years.
Are you tempted to give an indication of who you might be voting for?
No.
Not even my husband knows who I'm going to vote for.
We've been married for 40 years and I still don't know who she votes for.
That's quite something. So, do you go to the polling station together?
Yes,
Really?
yes.
Yeah.
And you enter the booth,
Yeah.
and that's a private
That's it.
matter.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
Discretion in a crucial battleground. There are 26 parliamentary constituencies wholly within the West Midlands Combined Authority area. Many will be fought on new boundaries. Calculations suggest that the Tories would have won 13 of them in 2019. Current opinion polls suggest a national swing of between 15 and 16% from the Tories to Labour. That could net Labour an extra 7 seats, giving them 20 out of the 26, with a further 2 possibly in play. If you want a litmus test of the national mood, you can't do much better than come here to Birmingham and the wider West Midlands region, with a whole bunch of Tory seats, a whole bunch of Labour seats, and a whole bunch of seats that tend to move with the prevailing national swing. On top of that, you have a Conservative candidate for mayor who's running as fast as he can away from his party, campaigning in green, and a Labour candidate happy to hug his party, and then 4 other candidates determined to make their mark. All in all, quite a heady mix. A political scientist believes the 2 contenders for Prime Minister will watch the results with great care.
If it's a clean sweep and the Conservative Party are doing badly everywhere, then of course that's going to be very bad news for Rishi Sunak. So if there's a glimmer of hope somewhere, they'll be clutching onto that and trying to say that that area or that particular race tells us something that the opinion polls more broadly don't. If it's a uniform story, then it's pretty much, here's what we already knew. So one thing I think is going to be important to bear in mind is it will be really tempting to say, oh, Labour's done better in this area of the country or in this area of the country. But we have to remember that Labour's doing better everywhere. So if Labour's doing better everywhere, and that's true in the opinion polls, and if that's true in the local elections, then that's due to sort of the tide rising all over the place, and then the Labour Party starting to pick up support where it lost it last time.
A vista of a region with a powerful voice. The West Midlands will soon speak, and the rest of the country will soon listen.